Hello, good morning students. In the previous video, I discussed about the preprocessor directive from the chapter Input-Output Streams in C++. So continuing that same chapter from yesterday's topic, okay, I discussed about the preprocessor directive and the use of this pound sign include, right, the hashtag include. Okay, so the you saw that program in the previous page, okay, that first program that is that uh, welcome to C++. So yesterday this program was explained. We discussed about comments, two types of comments, that is a multi-line comment and single line comments, right? So this is a single line comment, okay, and this is a multi-line comment that ends with slash, asterisk, asterisk, and slash. Okay, so we saw that this program, and in this program we saw that the header file, that is the hashtag include, okay, within this angular bracket iostream.h. Okay, so this is your iostream, that is the file name. Okay, so .h is a header, that stands for header file. Okay, so this file is a header file. Okay, so this the it so the it tells the hashtag, okay, it tells the C++, okay, compiler, okay, to include this iostream file from the include directory. Okay, you just think of it as a folder from the include directory. So in this include directory, all the header files will be found there. Okay, so this is not the only header file. Okay, there are many header files. Suppose like you are doing a complex maths program. Okay, so you're doing a complex maths program, so some formulas will be used, right? So those formulas or those keywords, some maths words which are going to be used in the C++ program, okay, will be explained in a header file called as, suppose like math.h. Okay, so similarly different header files are there, string.h, iomany.h. Okay, you will see in the later chapters. Okay, so all of these header files are found in this include directory. Okay, hashtag include directory. So now all the programs, you will see this keyword main, okay, by this parenthesis and this opening and closing braces. Okay, so this is the body of the main function. Okay, so this main function will execute this body. Okay, what is this main function? Now this main function, when you start this program, okay, this main function will start execution of this program. Okay, so the program execution will start from the main function, and then it will execute only what is written within, the compiler will execute only what is written within this braces, that is the main function body, and then after that it will terminate this program using the main function. Okay, so the main function is the start and the stop, or the start and the end of the program. Okay, so uh, this is a function. Okay, so any program statement or any formula that is to be executed is to be executed within this opening and closing brackets. Okay, so we saw the preprocessor directive. Okay, so the preprocessor directive hash include, okay, tells the compiler to insert another file into your source file. Okay, so this is actually a different file. So you can see that. Okay, so this is a program, but when you save this program, you will save it by say like this file name, begin01.cpp. So all the C++ program are saved with the file extension .cpp. Okay, so this is the file name. Now this file name is user defined. You can also write first program.cpp, right, or test.cpp, but all the programs, C++ programs, end with this .cpp extension. Okay, so uh, so this is the file name. So you can see that this is a file. When you save it in the computer, this becomes a file name. Okay, similarly, when you are including writing down this line, hashtag include iostream.h, iostream is also another file name. Okay, iostream is also another file. Just like this program, iostream is also a mixture of these types of function programs which is inbuilt in here. Okay, So what you're doing is that you are mixing a file with another file. You're including a file in another file. That is something like in your MS Word document. Okay, you have uh, some sentences typed. Okay, and then what you do is that you drag and drop a table, or you drag and drop an image from another folder. Okay, so you are mixing one file with another file. So it is possible like that in C++ also. Okay, so the use of the hashtag include. Okay, so you have uh, you can use this hashtag include in two ways. Okay, using the angle bracket, this angle bracket, or you can use these double quotes. Okay, so you can use this double quote, but most preferably the angular brackets is used. All the programmers mostly they use these angular brackets and not these double quotes. Okay, so in you will see that in all the programs all this angular brackets is used only. Okay, so within the angular brackets the header files are included. Okay, so like you can see iostream math.h conio.h, that is input output stream.h, that is necessary to for your C out and C in. Okay, math.h if you're doing some complex equation, math equation. Conio, that is console input output.h. Okay, so this indicates that the compiler should begin searching for these files in the standard include directory. Okay, so the compiler, before you start compiling the program, before the program source file becomes compiled, okay, the compiler first goes through the header file section. After that it goes to the main function. Okay, and then it compiles. So using the C++ editor. Okay, so the instructions in your C++ programs, they are called as source code, like I have said before. Okay, it is called as a source code, or you can also call it as a source file. Okay, that is the C++ program that is written in the text editor. Okay, so you type the source program into your computer memory with your editor. Okay, so if you have a system, if you have your system at home, okay, and you have installed this software called as Portland Turbo C++. Okay, so you can download this software. Okay, Borland Turbo C++, or there's another software called as Dev C++. Okay, however, there's different ways of execution in the Turbo C++ and Dev C++. Okay, so you will get this window. Okay, you will get this window screen, and you will see that you have the menu bar. Okay, so you have the title bar, and then this is where this screen will be either blue or green in color. Okay, so in here you type the codes. Okay, in here you type the source code. So after you type the source code, okay, you press on run, and then you press on compile. So you can see here, right, run and compile. But before you run it, or before you compile it, you save the file as by the file name. Suppose like in this example, sales.cpp, employee.cpp, even.cpp. So if you are doing a program, suppose like for sum of two numbers or multiplication of two numbers, then you can write down your file, save your file name as suppose like sum.cpp or product.cpp. Okay, like that. So the file name should be appropriate according to the program that you are writing down. Okay, so once you write down the source code, the uh, next step is to check whether there is any error in the program or not. Okay, so what you do is that you compile, you press compile. So when you press compile, okay, what happens, and when you press run, what happens is explained in this following pages. Okay, so this Turbo C++ text editor is actually, it is like an, as mentioned here, integrated development environment, IDE. Okay, in some form it is also called as RAD, rapid application development. Okay, so this IDE, why is it called as an IDE? Okay, here uh, this is not a complete IDE software, but yes, it's close to that, because here what you can do is that you can write down the code. Okay, you can write down the code here. You can convert the code, the source code, from human readable form to machine language. Okay, and then after that it has compiler or interpreters through which it can convert the high level language, which is the source code, Okay, the high level language is the source code or the human readable form which is converted into machine language using the compiler. Okay, and then after that, okay, it is translated back into, once there it is checked for error. If there is any error or not, it can debug it. So the software, so this software has uh, a debugger so that it can uh, find the errors and then give the errors if there's any errors. After that, what it can do is that user gets the chance to correct the errors and then run it again. Okay, so again it will be converted back into human readable form, so you get the output also. Okay, so that is like an IDE, integrated development environment. Okay, now think about your notepad. Okay, in your notepad what you can do is that uh, you can write down some codes, suppose like HTML code. Okay, you can write down HTML codes and then you can save it, suppose like test1.html. Okay, but when you have to open that web page, you cannot open it through notepad, right? You cannot open it through notepad. It is open in a different web browser, like maybe Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, okay, Internet Explorer, like that, right? But uh, in here you can type the code, you can convert the code into machine language, you can find for check for errors, okay, and then you can run the program in here itself. Okay, so that is called as an IDE, a complete software package, okay, inbuilt with different types of softwares. Okay, so you don't need to install 3 4 softwares to run the C++ programs. Okay, that is, once one program that will type the source code, another program will check the errors, another software will convert it into a machine language, another software will create an output. Okay, so it is all inbuilt within this. Okay, so that is why it is called as an IDE, integrated development environment. Okay, so when you compile the program on your PC, okay, that is your computer, the compiler will eventually produce an executable file whose name begins with the same name as the source code but ends in an exe extension uh, file. Okay, so now that is when you compile the program. Okay, now actually what happened is, it is explained in the next page. Okay, as you write down the source code here and you compile the program. Okay, compiling means, okay, what you do is that it checks the source code for errors. Okay, that is like different types of errors which is in the following pages. Okay, like syntax error, semantics error, okay, logical errors, runtime errors as such. So it checks whether the source the code that is written for the C++ program, is there any mismatch, is there anything that is written uh, differently. Okay, so the compilation will do that. Okay, and if there's no error, the compiler, what it will do is that during the compilation time, okay, it will create an object code, that is obj. Okay, so if suppose the program name is suppose sales.cpp, okay, or in this particular case begin1.cpp. Okay, so what we will do is that while you're pressing compile, and if it is successful, it will show a message pop up that, okay, success. Okay, so what it does is it creates an object file. The object file is the same as this begin1.cpp. Okay, that means if suppose this is the source code. Okay, now this source code, this particular paragraph, let's say this is the source code. Okay, so this source code will be converted into machine language, which is for the computer to understand. Okay, we can understand this part, but the computer cannot understand this, right? So it will be converted in machine language, which is the object file .obj. So the object file will be the exact same of this source code, except that it is in machine language. So it will be begin01.obj. Okay, so the file name will be same. Okay, only thing is that the extension will be .obj, that is the machine language copy. Okay, so it will create an exact duplicate copy of your source file. Okay, that is this one. It will create so this is suppose like begin1.cpp. Okay, so when you compile it, it will create an exact duplicate of this source file, which is in machine language, that is .obj. Okay, and after that, okay, Once it becomes successful and you press run, okay, that is when you press on run, this one, okay, so what it will do is that it will another software is there called as a linker software, okay. Through this linker software, it creates an exe file, that is this one, begin01.exe, okay. So or any kind of files that you have in the computer, okay, if you want to run it, suppose you have a game software, if you want to run the game, or if you have a music player, if you want to play the music, if you want to watch a video using a video player, okay, any kind of softwares, to run it, to execute it, you need an exe file, that is executable file, okay. So after you save the source file as .cpp, and when you compile it, it will create an obj file with the same file name, the exact duplicate file, okay. And then after that, with the linker software, it will create an exe file with the same file name, okay. And this exe file can be run on your computer so that you get a desired output of that program. If the program is sum of two numbers, once it becomes like sum.exe, okay, you can run that program and then you can get output of those two numbers, okay. So that is how it process in a C++ text editor, okay. Oh, like that. So keep in mind that all the program starts with the main function, okay. So a C++ program may contain one or more functions, okay, but the main functions will always be present, okay. So later on in the following chapters, you will learn that you can have more than the main function, you can have 2 3 functions also, okay. But the main function is the most important function, okay, because the program execution starts with this one, that is like an key ignition, okay. Without this key, you cannot start the vehicle. It's like that, okay. So here you can see that, okay, begin executing a main function, even if main is not the first function program, okay. So but it will start from the main function, okay. So the main function will execute what is within the opening bracket and the closing braces, okay. So if suppose this is statement is to be executed, so it ends with a semicolon, so this is called as a single statement, okay. So this is called a single statement. So every statement should end with a semicolon in a C++ program, okay. So this denotes that this is a single line statement. When you have multiple of these statements like this, okay, it called as a compound statement, okay. And in the previous program, you have seen that it ends with this return 0, right? Return 0, this means that this is a C, this is how you use a comment, this is a single line comment, okay, double slash. So this is useful for the programmers to understand that, okay, this indicates that the program ended successfully, okay. So this is ignored by the compiler, so this will be ignored by the compiler, and when you run the program, this will not be shown, okay. So this is written only in the source code region for the programmer to understand. So return 0 means that the program ended successfully, okay. Zero indicates successful termination of the program. It tells the operating system that the program, that this function program, the main function program, has terminated, okay. So that is how you start a program, and this is how you end a program, you close a program, okay. So that means you successfully close a program, okay. In your that is like in your mobile phone, okay. Sometimes you may want to some apps may be running in the background even if you're not using it, right? So what do? You go to your system settings, and then you go to the apps, and then you search for that particular app software, and then you forcefully stop it. You press on force stop, then it stops that app, right? So something like this. Return 0 indicates that the program which has run successfully, okay, and then it terminates there. That means 0 indicates the successful termination of the program, okay. So every program, keep in mind that it starts with the main function and it ends with the main function. So here what I've explained is in this portion, okay, about the compiler and linker. You just go through this paragraph, okay. So if you can see in this particular diagram also, okay, so this is your text editor, and in your text editor, that is the console window. Okay, so your software, and in your there you have written the source file, that is the program, that is suppose like welcome to C++ or hello world. Okay, now what the preprocessor will do is that the preprocessor will take this source program, okay, and then it will convert it using the compiler. Using the compiler, it will convert it into object file, which is the same as this, except that this is the machine language format file. And then from the header file, keep in mind that the header file is also another type of file which is attached to this source file. Okay, so the preprocessor will extract that from and combine it with the source program also. Okay, then the compiler will convert an object file. Okay, after that, once it is compiled and when you run the program, okay, the linker software will create an exe file. Okay, so this is the stepwise procedure that takes place in your C++ text editor. Okay, you have the compiler and then you have the linker software inbuilt in that. Okay, so just go through these paragraphs. Okay, so as you can see in this particular diagram, okay, see, so here the source code is written. Okay, so once you press compile, this message, if there is no error, so like see error 00, so there's no error, there's no warning. Okay, so success, press any key. So once you so that means this file has, this program has no error, and then you can press any key. After that you press run, and then you'll get the output screen of whatever the logic is behind this source code. Okay, so this is how you use the C++ text editor. Okay, so the rest is about the linking. Okay, how you do the linking and how you run the program. Okay, so in the next class we'll discuss about the different types of errors. Okay, so till this part, those of you who have your textbook, okay, go through this. This is very important for you to understand, okay, the process of your, and those of you who have your system at home, uh, install this Turbo C++, Borland Turbo C++, or Dev C++. Okay, and then you can type that first program that was that I have taught. Okay, this one. Okay, you can also type some simple programs. Okay, and then just try to understand what is the use of this header file, what is the use of this main function, and this opening and closing bracket, and this return 0. Okay, so if you have any doubts, okay, on this, you can ask. Okay, you can type the message in Google Classroom. Okay, and then I can clarify on that matter. Okay, so that will be all for today.